There's a fine upstanding member of the sausage community.
That's the problem. He was upstanding right in the middle of my lovely pie.
Would you like some sweets? Marvellous, then let's get some out there. Here we go. There's some for you. And there's some for you. And there's some for you.
Pantomimes are a popular story that's usually told at Christmas in play form. Usually they're presented in like families or friends, or in a large group of people as a joke or as just something to do as a Christmas time as a tradition.
So what is the pantomime that you're going to be performing?
We're performing every single pantomime that ever was in under 15 minutes. So we're taking groups of pantomimes, quite famous pantomimes, as well as some that are not known as much. So for example, the famous ones, things like Cinderella, Snow White, and Aladdin, or things like not well known, like Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves, or The Babes in the Woods.
So what is the Dame in the pantomime?
Yeah, so the Dame is a theatre convention that's quite unique to the pantomime show. And what it is essentially a female character who's played by a male actor. And I guess there's a couple of different parts of theatre history that we can look at to understand where this comes from. One is that women weren't always allowed to perform on stage. That kind of sounds outrageous when we say it now, but you know, in ancient Greek plays, in Shakespearean time, all of the characters were played by men or by boys, and so it's a little bit of a nod to that. Also, the character of the Dame is based around, not really around gender, but around a character of the clown, which comes from commedia dell'arte, an old form of Italian comedy, which many of our Year 8 theatre students study. So you will see a Dame on stage on Friday, and I hope you enjoy learning a little bit more about different styles of theatre.
Hi Oliver, so I have a question. How is call and response used in pantomime?
So a pantomime is mainly about like expressions and using your body into a good expressive way. It's also about like fairy tales and how they're portrayed. And pantomimes, they're mainly focused around the audience also reacting to what you do. So someone on stage might ask a question and you have to try to answer or help them. So yeah.
So I used to go to pantomimes when I was a kid every single year. It's a Christmas time tradition for families in the UK. And so the theatre in Newcastle, where I grew up, was the Theatre Royal, had a different pantomime every single year. And so as a family we would go. And I just remember it being a lot of fun when we were young. It's the kind of humour that's actually in some ways quite opposite to what British humour is sort of known to be, which is quite dry and sometimes quite dark, whereas pantomime is quite ostentatious and in your face, and sort of people dressed up for the opposite gender and that kind of thing, which is quite interesting because it makes it quite opposite. But I think maybe it's just the idea of a family really enjoying a moment of humour together, and young kids definitely love it. I mean, I did when I was young, but I would still go today, I have to say.
So what is the feeling of acting in a pantomime?
I think the feeling of acting in a pantomime is really fun because last year I also participated in a play and it was really fun too. We did that in the drama in phase 1. And for this play, we're gonna be performing in phase 2. I think what's interesting about it that is you get to act to a various amount of people. Like basically everyone in the whole school gets to see it and gets to see our work we've done for months, and yeah, that's pretty much it.